Okay, so welcome back. This is still Pan-African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And as we always say, Susanda, we are fearless. We
Zero favor.
And
Zero
fiction. Of course. So keep sending us your messages, keep sending us your comments. We are seeing, all your comments, and we appreciate it. And of course, we've just come back, from, not we've just come back. We are still on Women's Month, right?
Yes,
it's still August.
It's
still
celebrating Women's Month. But before we can get into that, Palisa, what is very much important, the topic that we spoke about, so the story that we spoke about before going on break, it was the issue of, the climate change. We are seeing a lot of hurricanes, we're seeing a lot of floodings, we're seeing a lot of things, and people don't take this thing serious. People don't realize that the issue of climate change is a reality. It is, it's terrible, the fact that we ignore nature, we do not take care of nature. We do not realize the important role that is being played by nature in our lives. We are behaving like we own this world. Meanwhile, actually, no, we don't. Nature does. We owe our being to the nature. We owe our breath to the nature. If you could cut out all the trees, you're not going to breathe safe air. So we must really, really, give credit where it's due. But it's not just giving credit, but it's by respecting and taking care of the nature, which is quite very important that we do. Yeah. So
otherwise, as we continue, like I said earlier on, Susanda, we're still in celebration of Women's Month. Now, women have always been able to bring a sense of competitive talent to the table. Now, with almost all industries being male-dominated, now the women of today are slowly winning the battle in some industries. And one of the most glamorous industries is a film and television industry. However, behind the scenes is also a different situation. But today, we're not only having that. Now, today, we're having this glamorous woman, a businesswoman, an inspirational woman who brings wine, to the table. And we have her right here on the green couch, and she's beautiful, she's all smiles. But Susanda was just saying that, but where's a glass of wine? You were supposed to bring a glass of wine. Madam, how are you?
Oh, it's Friday, Palisa.
Friday. Just introduce yourself, to our viewers so that we know who you are and you know what you're all about. But don't forget, next time to bring a glass of wine.
No problem. I do have it with me, just for you. My name is Kholeka Nxumalo. I am the CEO and founder of Ndlovukazi Wine, which was founded now in July 2020. I did my viticulture and enology with CPUT, and I am doing a winery course right now with Suela Wine Academy. So it has always been a dream. I lived in Cape Town before, so I just transitioned into it, the whole thing started when I started my company with my mom, which is called Ice Queens, which is an ice making company, and then I just transitioned to Ndlovukazi.
I love the name Ndlovukazi.
Yes.
Why? Like queen, right?
Yes. One would also want to find out a little bit more about firsting your passion for wine, because there are different ways here. There are some people that actually own the branding, but not the wine. To say, what, just going to post this, I will buy wine, whatever wine, I can buy, I don't drink alcohol, so I don't really get to know some names of different names of alcohol. So give us that, your passion for wine. It is just a matter of, doing the branding for wine, or you actually now going straight in terms of the creation of wine. This is where you involved they say they mature it, all sorts of things. So talk to us about that.
I don't own the acres as yet, obviously, but because I don't have that much money, but that is what I want to get into. That is my vision. That is ownership of the vineyard. But at the present moment, as you say, I don't just put my name on the brand. I choose the cultivars that I want within the wine. Cultivars being the grapes that I want within the wine. They have their own farmer. I'm working with Wine Estates in Stellenbosch. They have their own farmer, which takes harvests the grapes, picks them up, crushes them, does the bottling for me and production. I pay for that, but I don't have the acres as yet. But I feel like as Black women, we should have that. We should have some ownership of what we have, which can live a legacy for our kids.
No, for sure.
So that's my vision. That's where I want it to be. But I'm not just a brand. I am, the face behind it as well, because I tell them this is a specific thing that I want within the wine, and they produce it just the way I want it.
Why Ndlovukazi?
Yeah, thank you, Susanna. That was also in my head, like, why Ndlovukazi?
Because I'm a queen. Because I'm a queen. I was raised to think of myself not really on a pedestal, but on a throne, whereas I'm a powerful Black woman.
Yes.
So also, as I said, I transitioned from Ice Queens to Ndlovukazi. So I wanted something that was I'm a Swati girl. I was gonna say Ndlovukazi, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. I love Swati. I'm a proud Swati girl. But my mom is Zulu, and when it says Ndlovukazi, it says, you are on a pedestal, you're on a throne, you are not merely untouchable, but you are above, That's why my tagline says Sizopopa one day, because I feel like we're all gonna succeed, we're all gonna get to a place where you know yourself and you know Ndlovukazi. And I think that's what not causes gender-based violence, but the underlying of people staying within relationships where it's because they don't know their worth, if you knew that you were a queen, you know what type of treatment you're supposed to be given, what type of allowance or boundaries that you're supposed to put in and around your life. So you're a queen. Know it.
Yes. Now you started you launched your wine during this period of lockdown, of course, and alcohol ban and stuff like that. So how that has been for you, first thing to have to launch the alcohol during the time where alcohol is actually prohibited to be sold. So you can't really even go around and say taste or buy my wine because it's banned. And on top of that, at the moment, alcohol is being seen as the major contributor to all the accidents that we are seeing on a daily basis. What do you have to say about that?
With that being an impact of a lot of things that are happening on the streets, I want to say to other people that are looking at alcohol as just a drink. To me, it's a lifestyle. You don't always have to just to pop up a glass of wine. Wine has that thing of, it's a lifestyle, it's a culture, It's not just a drink that you drink at any time. You have a celebration, you have a drink. We have a graduation. It's a celebration of life. Though it has affected me a lot with the lockdown and COVID-19 happening, what happened was, as soon as I launched, I had my samples. On Sunday, when he said we are closing down everything, on Tuesday, my first batch was supposed to come. So that affected me a lot, but it gave me a lot of time to cultivate my brand so that by the time they say we're open, we're good to go, people know Ndlovukazi, just through social media, because there was no any tastings or anything like that. But people knew what Ndlovukazi was about because I am behind the PR. I'm behind the marketing, because it's a small business, but I feel like one day it's going to be my children's legacy.
No, it will.
So now I want to understand, one thing about, the process of the wine until to wait is, like we only buy the wine, we see it, in the stores and like that. But take us through, the process of how it came about until we find, we get that bottle that is written Ndlovukazi on the shelves.
The wine estate plants all its trees, first and foremost, and we take all the proper and most enduring grapes from it. So it starts with the harvesting. You start with the harvesting, then they do the picking, of the variants of grapes that are in the cultivar that you need. You then sort them out. It's like a process where I always tell people, it's like when God creates your life, it's something. So he picks the perfect characters that are going to go into your specific bottle, your specific life, you know, your specific body. So they sort it out, they pick it out, they put it in a barrel where they crush it with red wine. They leave it with the skins on, with the white wine, they peel off the skins. So that's why there's not much color, you know, and there's not on the white wine. They peel off the skin off, you know. You can still have a white wine with a red grape, you know, because they peel off the skin, because they take the juices that are within it, and it stays. So the tannins of the red wine are found within those, you know, those peels that sit and ferment within the barrels, and for the time that you want it to be. My wine is a 2018 wine. That means it's set like for 2 years, and it did the fermentation. After that, they check the.
So apparently, the longer the wine, the
better the taste. The better the taste. Absolutely. So your 1958 wines, they're quite good. The ones that you've left in your wine cellar for years and years, when you dust it off.
I'm sure they're more expensive as well, because now they've stayed in the barrels for years, and you know.
So that's a souvenir. That's you know, extravagant to say. So after that, we go into the bottling. They check the sugar content of it, oil, and which is the bricks. We call it the bricks, and then they check with the hydrometer and check if it's good for the customers. Soon after that, they take it to the lab, make sure that it's good, you know, for you. That on my wine, there's a sticker called certified and verified by the liquor board, just to say this is okay, and the alcohol content is just right. You know, you don't want to get too drunk, but you don't want to get not drunk at all.
You want to get tipsy.
You want to get tipsy, you know, because it's a lifestyle. Wine is not for getting drunk, they always say, you know. It's for getting tipsy, it's for getting nice. So that's how they do it, and then soon after that, it comes to me, and we have it on labeling, and we have it on the shelves.
You mentioned earlier, Kholeka, that you know, wine is a lifestyle, and we have seen that some people, Kokasi especially, when they want to get knocked down, but say, I'll get a bottle of wine and then my ciders on the side, just to keep the day going. First, bazofaka yonke wine, and then they are now done, and then they then have, you know, their whatever else drinks. But in reality, you know, wine has always been used as, you know, some form of classy type of, you know, way of enjoying it, where you're going to have, you know, your proper wine pairing when you having your meals and stuff like that. So how has that changed in terms of looking into, are there people buying wine for what it is supposed to be? Because it's supposed to be a complementary to a type of dish that you're eating, or it's just to scop and donor yourself and just get wasted?
It's what you put in your brand. I feel that makes what people perceive your brand to be. So I feel that I have set the bar to say that my wine is a lifestyle wine. So it's not exclusive to the fact that you can't find it anywhere, but I don't want to find it any and everywhere. You won't find my bottle in a tavern. I will say that out loud today, because I am. That's what I'm cultivating within my wine. The demographics of it has changed a lot, especially in the Western Cape, with more wine estates opening up and more wineries being out and about, you know, your tastings, your thing, because I feel wine is an intimate drink, you know. If somebody says, I'm taking you out for wine and cheese, or I'll put some wine and some candles, you know, it's quite intimate. It's a connection to you and that person, a bond with you and that drink that you're having at that time. Also, what I always say to people is, it's very weird. I pray over my wines. It's very weird.
You pray after you drank it?
No, as soon as they arrive, they are boxed, they arrive. So because I want this to be something that is so intimate to you, you know, something happens within yourself, because I have given it the power, you know. That's why I need to Popa one day. It's a victory story. It's a success story that I want for you to have within yourself, and for you to, when you drink the wine, it's a celebration of some sort of your life. You know, it's a celebration of a graduation, as I said, a celebration of your wedding. That's how I want my wine to be perceived. But as you say, hey, stop and done. But it's not. That's not the vision that I have.
How much
for
percentage
it.
is there to scope donor?
Quite a lot. Mine is a 12.5 and a 13.5. So it's not too hectic. 12
is halfway through vodka, most that thing.
Yes, it is.
Because vodka, I think, is like from 30 or something like that. So it's halfway through vodka.
It is.
So
some
it's
other vodkas are like 43. I've seen some deals
so,
43.
I'm sure.
But yeah, no, it's.
I want to know what makes your wine, exclusive. Like, why would I pick Ndlovukazi over, all the other wines that have been there for years and years? Is it maybe take me through that?
I feel like the wine itself has a story to tell, because of the person that is behind it. Ndlovukazi is somebody that is, a queen mother, what they say. So it's somebody that is a nurturer, somebody that celebrates the next person's, so it's the story behind it that makes it so different. It is, a black child that started something that said, I could do it, I can do this, and it's quite different because all the cultivars have been chosen just right. But other wines are doing that same thing. But that's why I feel the connection is for the story behind it, People are connected by what you can tell them about the wine, and that's my vision, for it. It's for it to not just be just another brand that's gonna sit at macro and not do anything. It must be a wine that gets to the people. It's a wine that tells a story. It says, black child, it's possible, I want somebody to have a connection to it, to say, when they look at the wine and say, one black woman once did this. Ndlovukazi,
Queen mother.
Queen mother. Because I always say to people, Kholeka Nxumalo, remember that name. Because I want to be a story to be told to other people that you can inspire, you can rise above. As you said, it's a male-dominated, sometimes it's a white-dominated industry, but I want a black child that is sitting out there and saying, I can't do it, saying, I can, because who did it? I can go and act because Balisa did it. You understand? And those type of things. I can do presenting because Susanda did it. So I want somebody who's sitting out there and thinking, I cannot get to that point to say I can do it because Kholeka did it.
Oh, lovely. But then now let's talk about the glasses. I've heard, like, I've got my friends always drink wine. Well, I buy wine to decorate.
Great,
in my
okay.
house. Yeah,
So
and they always come to my house because they know that.
I'm a collector.
I've got wine.
You're a collector.
Exactly.
You're collectors.
Yeah. And then every time when my friends come to my house, they're like, no, and then I would give them a glass. But no, that's not a wine glass. Well, what is the difference between the glasses when you drink wine? Because somebody said, no, you need to have a glass like this, or, I'm not sure what she was saying, but different glasses apparently for wine.
Even for different types of wine. So if you're drinking red wine, there's a red wine
Well, I
glass,
just
white
bought
wine,
glasses,
champagne.
Now
whiskey,
she's telling me, no,
everything is
not this glass, that glass. I'm like, but it's a glass to drink. Who's a pella?
And then she's like,
no, I want
even if I drink it in a cup at this point, let's drink it.
Yeah.
So there's a difference with your champagne glasses, with your white wine glasses, and with your red glasses, red wine glasses. With your something we call the gluvée, you want it to be warm, so the stem would be shorter, so that your skin can touch the bottom of the glass, the brim of the glass, closer. That is for your gluvée, because it's a warmer wine. It's a mixture of brandy and wine.
So that thing must be shorter?
Yes, must be shorter.
Is it the one that you hold like this?
Yes, you can hold like this. Yes.
Mm.
It's almost like a cognac glass, but just longer. We have the Bordeaux glass, which is longer, that the stem is longer, so that you can hold your glass from the bottom. You're not supposed to hold your glass like this, as per se, as a person. You have to hold it, not to get your wine warm. Also, it is to aerate the wine, so that when you swirl the wine, the oxygen does come into your wine, and all the aromas that I have put in there specifically just for you to taste are there. Your cherries, your almonds, whatever that I've specifically put in that wine, supposed to come out. With your white wine glasses, it's not broadened, it's shorter, it's just like that, which is...
So it goes with color as well?
Yes.
The white wine has got its own glasses? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll come one day and I'll show you all the glasses, because I'm a glass lover as well.
Me too.
I love
Me
glasses.
too.
So with your white wine, because it's a chilled wine, it has to stay all compacted together, which is closer to a champagne glass. A flute glass would be longer, but a white wine glass would be similar to it,
Yes,
but just a bit broadened.
Small is stood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so the champagne, obviously, your flute, your long ass glass, it's very nice. You have it as a celebration, obviously, because you want all the bubbles to come up and give you the best taste of the wine.
Very
Now,
informative.
Nxumalo, there is this other issue as well with alcohol. Of course, I understand that at this moment you're running it as a business, and it's a good business to go into. It's a classy business, I must say. It takes you to the most prestigious events. I would like to mention. And funny enough, I visited almost all wine tasting events in Paarl, in
Is
Cape Town, but I don't even take a sip. You end up being drunk, being in
Just
that
smelling.
environment. Yes, yes, yes. But my question is that now, what are the difficulties? Because we can talk about all the glitz and the glam of it, but I'm sure that there are challenges within this industry that maybe somebody who wants to go into this space must pay attention to those and have this at the back of their mind.
With being a farmer, I did viticulture and oenology, so not all the grapes are quite good. You know, so you guys were speaking about the climate change. So it has affected a lot of the farmers and all the vineyards with picking the greatest of wines. So not all the time do you find that the harvest is good. So that is a loss to your company, no profit at that point. So it is a challenge as per se. Also with getting the acres. That's a difficult thing to do, you know, with a person that doesn't have the millions or doesn't have the family background of owning that type of land, you know, and cultivating that type of land. It takes some time. But I thought to myself, I'm going to wait forever and ever if I'm going to be stumbled and, you know, hindered by those challenges. Yes. Saying I cannot own it, but I'm thinking, the future, I'm going to own it one day.
Yes.
I'm going to be a girl with a vineyard one day,
yes.
you know. So those are the challenges, but I always say they cannot always just, you know, hinder you. You have to find the positive in all of that. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but you get into it and...
Yeah, where do we find your wine?
Yes.
You guys spend so much time with Sisanda that anything that she says...
You guys are in sync,
Yeah.
in sync.
Yeah.
My website will be out next week. I was with my website developer last week. But right now, you have it on my WhatsApp. My number is 067-030-7853. Or on my Instagram, you can DM me. I'm Ndlovukazi_wines. And Kholeka, if you want to go personal, Kholeka_Nxumalo. Also on Facebook, I do have my page within Ndlovukazi Wines. I am going to set up my Twitter very soon so that everybody can have the opportunity to do that. But I will be giving out my website information, the link on when the time is ready and it's up and running.
Yes, you know, wine is quite a very, as we said, it's appealing to most women. You know, they even saying he's gonna wine and dine me. You know what I'm saying? And then men, they've got this thing, you know, for me to feel, you know, I've got a muscular man, he's got a glass of brandy or whiskey and stuff like that. How do you make sure that your wine appeals to men as well, not just women?
The most sales that I've gotten right now for males. Actually, it's very different.
Are you sure?
So, yeah.
They're curious about this beautiful woman on the bottle.
Like-
The picture is there. They're not buying the wine. They're buying the girl there.
I think it's changing, you know. My boyfriend is not a whiskey and cognac lover. My boyfriend is a wine lover. It's so different. I think the demographics are changing, you know. The men are also getting into the culture of, you know, you can savor the wine and not only savor the brandies and your whiskeys. So I think it has already changed, you know. We just give it some time. Let the men, you know, see it all for what it is. But it's quite dry. My wine is on the dry spectrum, so most of my wines are very much like for males and females, unisex as such, because it has that dryness, because men don't want that sweetness of anything. So it has that. And when I do launch my MCC Brut and my sparkling rosé, I'm sure it will be for the women more, but I'm sure men will also partake.
Kholeka, you know, as we're closing off, you know, Women's Month, what message would you like to send to our women there, especially, you know, women who want to be like you, who aspire to be where you are, you know, in business?
Don't give up. Don't give in. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I've got plans for you and plans to make you prosper. God knew you before, you know. He sorted you out. He picked you from the best. Take your passion, take up your space, as Zozibini would say, take up your space, be a woman of stature, and, you know, don't give up, don't give in, you know. Although circumstances can say give up, but don't do it, because he says you'll rise like the sun in the morning, you know. They always say it's darkest before it's dawn, you know. So even when in the hardships, don't give up. Don't give in.
A prayer warrior indeed, you know. I also like the fact that you're saying that you pray over your wines, you know. And right now you just said that, you know, Jeremiah says that I alone know the plans I have for you, plans to make you prosper. Yeah, hallelujah.
Now, last one, Kholeka. The lady on your bottle, is that you?
It is me in the Duke, yes. But I specifically, it was just a picture that I had. I wanted somebody in Edugu or somebody that has, you know, they call it the crown. So I wanted that. And to link a crown with a black woman or, you know, a Zulu woman as such would be Edugu. It's got that uklonishwa, ugluksana, you know. So it's got that appeal, and yes, that's me.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure so that I can put it in the front in my wine rack to make sure that, you know, this girl
She's
is
looking at me.
You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
wish you all the best in this industry. It's, as we said earlier, it's a male-dominated industry, and not just male, but white male-dominated industry. So you've got a long road to run. So put your sneakers on, baby girl. Hit it and do it great. We are all behind you. We're supporting you, and we want you to continue to prosper, because I think nothing goes beyond a strong black woman that is determined to achieve what they need to achieve, because you're going to go out there and get it. So grab these opportunities and
keep your crown on.
Our technical producer is saying that, you know, we must say that the darker the berry, the juicer.
I really appreciate these type of platforms, because it's not only about my business, but it's also about inspiring
other people. Yeah, no, for sure. That was Kholeka Nxumalo that we had for us right here on The Green Culture. She's a founder and the owner of a wine brand which is called Ndlovukazi. One day sizopopa, but sizopopa one day. Sizopopa, this thing, you know. So definitely, me and you sizopopa for sure. Now let's go take a very short break. When we're coming back, we've got more news and update for you right here on Pan African Morning. Please do stay with us.
Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're going to put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that.
Feel the excitement.
The chicken is on the spot.
Feel the heat with Starsat.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Feel the heat.
Just watch this. Let the pictures tell you everything.
It's all the way through.
Oh, what about that? That was really special. Those are the moments that supporters will remember.
Feel the excitement.
That was delightful.
Feel the heat with Starsat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning and a warm welcome once again on Galaxy Universal Network, channel 500 on Starsat, and this is Pan-African Morning.
Hi, Sudi Melang. This is still Pan-African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And of course, we are fearless, zero favor and zero fiction.
Warm welcome to Galaxy Universal Network, channel 500 on Starsat.
Catch the Pan-African Morning Queens, Sasanda Kwabikuto and Balisa Muchiminyani every weekday at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on Galaxy Universal Network, channel 500 on Starsat. Catch us on all our social media platforms. It is Galaxy Universal Network on Facebook, at @gun_TV on Twitter and Instagram. Visit our website on www.galaxyun.tv. You sure don't want to miss out.
Welcome back.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Susanda.
Okay,
Go
Palisa.
Mukhaitsu, welcome back. This is still Pan-African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. Continue, Queen.
Of course. We are still continuing with our stories. Now let's give you the news headlines that we had for you this morning. President Cyril Ramaphosa says that South Africa's 500 billion rand stimulus package fund has not been stolen. And an alleged letter from the ANC to Ace Magashule continues to circulate on social media platforms. And Makosi Koza joins Herman Mashaba's new political party. And the zoo apologizes for 114 years for displaying a Congolese national at their zoo. Now let's give you the first top story. President Cyril Ramaphosa replied to the oral questions in the National Assembly on the government fight against gender-based violence and femicide and the combating of corruption in the public and private sectors. President Cyril Ramaphosa said that on Thursday that the claims of the country's 500 billion rands COVID-19 stimulus package was stolen were far from the truth. The president estimated that the amount spent by the government for the personal protective equipment amid the coronavirus pandemic was about 11 billion rands instead. And Ramaphosa faced questions about the allegations on the PPE tender corruption involving his spokesperson Kholeka Nxumalo by the economic freedom fighters leader Julius Malema. He, however, refused to elaborate on the matter, saying that the allegations were being investigated by the law enforcement agencies. Reports have shown that Nxumalo, Gauteng Hemisi, Health Bandile Masuku and his wife, a City of Johannesburg official, have been implicated in a multi-billion rand PPE tender debundle involving the husband of who is the Amabhaca chief Madikizane II, Uthandisizwe Diko. Let's take a look.
Much Honorable Singh, I join you in wishing Umtwana Babushenge his wonderful birthday, and we were pleased to hear that he had recovered from COVID-19, and we continue to wish him strength as he continues to play the elder statesman in the body politic of our.
Now, questions posed to the president was whether he would make public bank statement related to this 2017 African National Congress and also the presidential campaign. Ramaphosa said that the matter was before the courts. He responded by saying that the issue of the CR17 funding donor list matter is in court and must allow that the court process to continue. In August 2019, the bank statement relating to the donations made to Ramaphosa's campaign were sealed from the public access by the Pretoria High Court after the request from the president. President Cyril Ramaphosa also dodged a question on whether he would agree with the appointment of the former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede by the ANC to the KwaZulu-Natal legislator by saying that the matter was being discussed within the structures of the ANC and in the democratic manner, and he was not going to be commenting on. And the question and the answer session started on a rocky note as Matamela was disrupted by the members of the Economic Freedom Fighters. This is after the EFF MP Hlengiwe Mkhaliphi objected to the president continuing with his address without Malema and his deputy president Floyd Shivambu not being present in a visual session. And Malema was later able to take part in the session. The DA was also in the midst, and this is what they had to say.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me associate myself with your opening remarks, and the side of the House associates with them. Mr. President, you have on many occasions, both inside and outside this House, made a variety of commitments to deal decisively with gender-based violence. Yet ANC actions and on-the-ground results show that gender-based violence is clearly not a priority of this government. The crime statistics released last week show very clearly that under your first term as president, the number of offences, of sexual offences and rape have increased. You've spoken about kits, but there is a catastrophic backlog in the processing of DNA tests, amounting to almost 100,000 cases, denying thousands of victims of gender-based violence recourse to justice. On the matter of gender-based violence, as with all matters of accountability with your government, you go from Mr. Talk-a-lot to Dr. Doolittle. You've made endless commitments to ending this. You've again spoken today about talk shops and funds, but these are never followed up by action. What concrete action, Mr. President, are you going to take to reduce the backlog in the DNA testing that is keeping perpetrators of gender-based violence out of jail and allowing them to continue to prey on women, children, and vulnerable people in South Africa? Thank you.
A letter calling for ANC Magashule to appear in front of the ANC Integrity Commission has been making rounds on social media. The African National Congress has still not confirmed whether its Secretary General Ace Magashule has been summoned to present himself before the governing party's Integrity Commission. In a letter, Magashule is requested to discuss remarks he made in July that he will never step aside due to corruption corruption allegations. The Secretary General remarks are contradictory to the strong anti-corruption stance communicated by President Cyril Ramaphosa in a recent letter to the party members. The ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe said that Magashule had not received the document but did not confirm the authenticity of the letter that was allegedly leaked through the public.
Well, we have seen a letter doing rounds on various social media platforms purporting to be from the Integrity Commission of the African National Congress. We can confirm that our Secretary General, Comrade Ace Magashule, has not received such a letter. And should a letter like that be brought to his attention or by any other body of the organization, for as long as matters are raised within structures of organization internally, so the SG will be able to respond. It's quite disappointing to find letters like this ones purporting to be coming from the organization, doing rounds across social media platforms on issues that ordinarily should be ventilated upon through internal organizational structures.
Now, the former member of the African National Congress of Parliament, Dr. Makhosi Khoza, is the latest prominent political figure to join Herman Mashaba's new political party. Mashaba announced the latest member during the virtual press conference regarding the official launch of the party that will take place this coming Saturday. The former Johannesburg mayor established a People's Dialogue last year following his departure from a Democratic Alliance, calling it a platform for public engagement about the political future of the Republic of South Africa. Ramaphosa, or rather Mashaba, says that Khoza would form part of the leadership of the party. He further announced that the key role players in the soon-to-be launched party. He said that Lerato Ngobeni is a newcomer to politics and she will bring her vast experience and skills to the role of national spokesperson. And Funzi Ngobeni, Andre Kodzia and Paul Boji will form part of the leadership team of strategic individuals who have been with the team since the early days of People's Dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, they will be joined by the Makhosi Khoza, Vigimento, and Lieutenant General Dilange David Dembe, and also Vivian Lowe. Those were the words that were uttered by the People's Dialogue leader, Umnumzane Uhemen Mashaba. Makhosi Khoza is well known for openly calling for former President Jacob Zuma to step down and later resigned from the ANC in April 2017 after accusing former President Zuma of corruption.
Than ever before, want a real alternative to the ANC. They want a party that can achieve broad support beyond the narrow focus of our current opposition parties. They want a way out of the mess we find ourselves currently in. The party I will unveil on Saturday will be the hope that South Africans are looking for. We will put down real solutions to the problems in South Africa. We will avoid the political pettiness and point scoring that has become part of the politics of our country. We will exist for the sole reason of unseating the ANC and providing an alternative, better future for our country. We will focus our resources where we can win in next year's local government elections. While, ladies and gentlemen, we initially believed this would be focused on Tshwane, Johannesburg, and Ekurhuleni, it is clear that more and more municipalities are becoming winnable and can no longer be ignored. The work of building this new party begins on Saturday, as we are all aware. When you consider the amount of people who have already joined before we've even launched the party, I am resolute in my belief that our growth after Saturday will be unprecedented. On Saturday, we will unveil the name and identity of our new party. I have noted the misconception that the name of the new party is the People's Dialogue. This is not correct. The People's Dialogue was the name of the non-profit project of engaging South Africans. It will continue its good work, but separate from the new party. But after this road we have traveled, the time for talking is now over, because South Africans want action and not words. It is appropriate for me to announce at this point the leadership team around me. I will serve as the party's president and appointed Michael Beaumont to serve as our national chairperson of the party. I'm also pleased to announce that Lerato Ngobeni, another newcomer to politics, will bring her vast experience and skills to the role of national spokesperson. Funzi Ngobeni, Andre Kutsie, and Paul Bowie will form part of our leadership team as strategic individuals who have been with us from the early days of the People's Dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, they will be joined by Makosi Khoza, Feki Mento, Lieutenant General Dilange, David Tembe, and Vivian Law. This leadership team will form the nucleus of our party going forward. It is a strong team that brings a huge amount of experience. Most importantly, they are great South Africans who are committed to the service to the people of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, the launch of this new party will be a milestone in our country's history. I look forward to Saturday as the start of the project to save our country and to realize that the future we all want and know it is.
Now, South Africa's popular tombstone designer and maker Lebogang Kitsane died yesterday. Kitsane was best known as an innovator in the memorial stone space after having manufactured elaborate life-size tombstones under his company, Bataung Memorials. Some of his granite magic include tombstones of South African icons such as Joe Mafela, Ontlametse Palatse, Nkululeko Flaba Habedi, Baby Jack Matlala, Skarangobese, and the late Service and Administration Minister Collins Chabane, and the legendary broadcaster Vuyo Mbuli, among countless others. Social media users, including the country's best-known celebrities such as Lerato Za and Tibos Mokwele, started their condolences for their craftsmen. Details around the circumstances of his death were not released, and Kitsane family had asked for privacy at this moment. It's time for us to take a very short break. When we're coming back, we've got more news and updates for you right here on Galaxy Universal Network.
Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're going to put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that?
Feel the excitement.
The chicken is on the spot.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Just watch this. Let the pictures tell you everything.
It's all the way through!
Oh, what about that? That was really special. Those are the moments that supporters will remember.
Feel the excitement.
That was delightful.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Yeah, Balisa, the story that we have been following for quite some time, the issue of Usjava and Lady Zama, the allegations of rape and everything. Usjava took his time, the past 2 days, and recorded a very long, heartfelt video where he spoke about how he has been, accused of rape, and there's no case that has been opened, though, against him. But at the very same time, his gigs have been cancelled, and he's been removed from many other, some other sponsors have withdrawn from him. At the very same time, Lady Zama has not been able to go and open the case of rape against him, and he denies those allegations completely and say they have never happened. At the very same time, Lady Zama is out there to say that this has happened to her, and I'm still not sure though why the case is not opened, because I strongly believe that she needs to go and open the case if she's been she has been violated on this matter.
The sad part about this story, Sisanda, and many other stories, that are similar to this case of Lady Zama and Usjava. There's a thin line between like rape and like being in a relationship, because I think men, or some men, or most men rather, they don't understand that at the end of the day, no means no. Even that person is your girlfriend or partner or even your wife. When a woman says no and a woman is uncomfortable about it, it is still no. So you cannot force yourself on a woman who said no, because Lady Zama says that I kept on saying no and no and no, but that did not take away the fact that Lady Zama is in love with this man. Lady Zama looked at Java as a boyfriend, a partner, somebody who's supposed to be loving him. So even though the rape happened, or rather even though she claims or she says that the rape happened, it doesn't take away the fact that she had said no. No means no.
Yes.
You cannot, glamorize it or put it, or try to justify it in some way.
Yes.
And some men don't understand. I don't know, maybe is it because of the way they were raised that they're men, a woman cannot say no.
Yes.
If you're my girlfriend, I can have you at any time. And maybe Java was also expecting that, because this is supposed to be the girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know what is what is a challenge here? First, maybe I will differ a little bit with you when it comes to the thin line part. I think there is no thin line between consensual and no, because if I say no, it's a no. And that must be very clear that, we cannot say sometimes no means yes. No, no is no, and yes means yes. And then now, there were two people in this house, right? One said that I said no, and the other said you never said no. You know what I'm saying?
Consensual.
So now it is a story between the two people. I must emphasize that there have been stories, of course, that have been brought forward about Sjava. Sjava clarified the fact that there's been allegations that he has a wife. He says he has never been married before. He has never even paid lobola. He doesn't have a wife. He had a girlfriend at the time that he told Lady Zama that, listen, I am in a relationship with another person, and Lady Zama was fine with that, to get into a relationship when she knew that he was in a relationship with another woman. And two, there were magazines that covered the article to say Sjava has children. Sjava says, I don't even have one child, not even a cat for that matter. I never had children. So they have destroyed this guy. They've portrayed him as a cheater from his wife and so on and so on. Of course, maybe he cheated. Not that maybe he cheated on his girlfriend. I don't know. I mean, he's a Zulu guy. That's another thing. I don't know if his girlfriend knew about Lady Zama because, with Zulus, they sometimes introduce multiple girlfriends in the aim of having polygamy in the end, which is understandable. But at this stage, it is very difficult to find a stand where you can be, because we have also seen a large number of women accusing men of rape that did not even occur. I mean, we're covering a story of a guy that has been spent a lot of life of his 9 years in jail of crime that he never committed. And a woman just said, he raped me. And then later on, the woman felt remorse and then changed and said, actually, he never did. My family forced me to say that he raped me because, we are Christians and, this thing of me having lost my virginity, it was a problem and stuff like that, but he never raped me. It was a consensual relation. So the thin line is there as to we, as the consumers of this information, what are we taking? What are we what are we taking from that information? I am a woman. My loyalty first goes with Lady Zama. But at the very same time, I'm not going to be irresponsible and now crucify a poor child who maybe is at this moment not in a position to defend himself, because I will say, Lady Zama, I am with you. I stand with you as a woman. I want you. But first, did you report the case? Fine. If you didn't do it that time, why don't you do it now? Why don't you go and report the case and let the case be? These are the things that, it somehow put us in a corner that we are not really sure where we must stand. Our loyalty still stands with the woman, but at the very same time, is the woman doing the right thing in order for her to be, taken legitimate in what she has to say? Let's take a look at what Sjava has to say.
Video. Ngwazi ukuthi ngicacise izinto eziningi about the situation engibhekane nayo and everything that's happening in life in yami. I've been reading about it, and isizathu sokuthi sonke lesikhathi ngakhuluma ngithule because sasitshelwe kanjalo ukuthi asivumelekile ukukhuluma ngalento about lecala, especially Twitter or to the media and social media. But ngokubona ukuthi ukuthula kwami kwenza ukuthi abantu bangazi ukwenzakalani. Bese bayibuza imibuzo, ngokubona abantu bephendulana, bephikisana ukuthi kwenzakalani, and that's why ngenza le video ukuthi ngikwazi ukuchaza the whole situation. Bengizoqala ngayo. Okay, masihlangana qala nje nge-relationship ukwenzakalani kuze kufike la sikhona njengamanje. Okay, sahlangana saqala ukuthandana 2017. Masihlangana 2017 amtshela ukuthi cha mina nginayo intombi. Bayamtshela ukuthi nginayo intombi, ayike umuntu okunderstandayo lo. Ekuhambeni kwesikhathi kwashintsha. Kwaba umuntu othi kuzomela ke manje ukhethe. Understand, engasahambisani nalento engishilo nanto sasivumelane ngayo. Qala lapho ke inkinga, and we relationship yethu kuningi obvious abengathi lo wadala ukuthi angajabuli ngezinto eziningi. Understand, and mina ngumuntu who's very invested kulento enyenzayo umculo.
Now, as you can hear, Sjava, speaking quite very sadly about, what is happening, and the fact that, his gigs have been cancelled, and, he is now obviously being crucified on cases that he is still waiting even to be charged, because he's still not charged, but he's been removed. But at the very same time, Lady Zama had this to say.
I do know is that Jabulani raped me. I did not give him consent. I told him to stop. And that's how I ended up in a relationship with him. It was not, hey, we are having sex. No, it's not what happened. And I couldn't fight him off because he's huge. He's massive. He's bigger than me. I mean, I'm really short. You know? And I was bandaged. I was stuffed with painkillers. That's what happened. And I have never spoken to the press about this. The dockets have been leaked, whichever way they've been leaked. But I do not speak to the press about.
Yeah, it is, a very difficult one there, Palisa. Maybe just to look into it in that manner. That Zama is still stating that it has happened. Although I try to follow, I mean, I watched it. I try to follow, the events on how and when they happened and stuff like that. There is a little bit of, clumsiness in the way in which Zama is telling her story. Now, I wish she could just, be straightforward and give the events as they happened. Because now the fact that she's just all over, she makes her story a bit difficult to believe. You know what I'm saying? And as much as Zama, we want to believe, we believe you. But now somehow we being seen as petty when we want to believe a story that you are not making us believe it. It doesn't have substance. You know what I'm saying? So it is quite
on
very.
the other hand, I just feel that I don't understand why they're taking all these things in the media, in the public, so that other people now should listen to them and hear them. I know. I mean, for me, I just feel that it's a personal matter, and if it is true, not that it's not true, we don't know. It is Zama versus Sjava. I think it should just simply go to court, or maybe it should be something that it's not out there. We understand they're private, they're public figures, number one, and we also understand that now they want to respond using social media, but I just feel that it is so personal. For me as a woman, I wouldn't want to take such things and such accusations to
no, for me, I understand where Sjava comes from, of course, at this stage, because he's life was brought into public, and which subsequently destroyed his career, got his gigs cancelled, and a whole lot of things happening in his life. So unfortunately, he's going to have to come to the public again and defend himself, to clear his name, And at the very same time, it's the very same platform that Zama used to accuse him. So he has to go into the same platform and try and clear his name, unfortunately. And we know that they are public figures, of course, and the person who started it is one of our very own Lady Zama. So if Zama is the one who puts up the allegation on social media and say it happened to me, he abused me, and this and that happened, what do we expect Sjava to do? So sometimes I don't want us to be biased unnecessarily. I want us to put facts on the table. I will reiterate again, as a woman, my support first goes to a woman. I also understand that there might be crisis of which is what I justified as yesterday with the people that we were watching Zama's response to say, in my understanding, the reason why her story doesn't really even sound too convincing right now, there is this thing called secondary victimization, when you have to retell the story of what has happened to you again. So there is that thing, a possibility somewhere to say, if it traumatized her that much, there's a possibility that she even maybe loses the recount of what exactly has happened during that time, and causing her to maybe, be all over, because, when she wants to tell the story, something else is in her head, the emotion, because if I'm telling the story of what has happened to you, I don't have the emotions that you have on what has happened to you. So there is this thing of that we need to remember, that if I talk about rape, your mind, because you have experienced it, your mind doesn't have a space to say that this thing doesn't happen, is not happening now. Your brain is telling you that rape is happening now, and then now you are reacting that I am being raped, not because you are being raped, but because your mind is remembering that you were raped. So these are parts of the incident that we are looking to. But let's take a very short break. When we're coming back, we've got one of the very prominent women on our green culture. She'll be talking to us as we continue to celebrate women in this month of August. Stay with us.